It comes down to the 5th set on Akilon Wastes. If KT Rolster loses this match, they are out of the playoffs, and STX will move on to the grand finals, spawning in the bottom right-hand position. As the green Protoss player, it's Zest.
His opponent can finish the series and advance into the finals along with STX. His name is Trap, spawning as red Protoss on the top left-hand position on Akilon Wastes.
In day 1 of the playoffs, we saw Mini go for a very aggressive DT into kind of a 4-gate Archon push all-in against his Protoss opponent. I believe it was Stats. And Stats, it was just overwhelmed. He couldn't do anything about it. Will we see something similar as like a really big mind game? Because this is what Zest would kind of expect, but at the same time think he wouldn't do that 2 games in a row.
Well, that's the reason why Yellow got bunker rushed 3 times in a row, because he was thinking to himself, well, he's not going to bunker rush again and again and again. But this time around, we see Mini go for 10 gateways. 10 gateway.
He's going for the very early gate.
So here we go. The dice has been thrown. He's going to go for the early aggressive play. Zest just scouting inside the main base, but not going to scout in his opponent's main base to check that the gateway has been up early.
Grabbing the gas. He could potentially go for the proxy Void Ray as well. That's something that in DreamHack yesterday, I remember I was watching Huck attempt to do that against his opponent, Stardust. Almost worked for him.
Almost worked. You know, the proxy Void Ray is kind of tricky because you can make the attack work, but it needs to hit at a critical timing before too many Stalkers are out. And once the Void Ray is shown, there's no turning back. You need to make the attack work before your opponent squeezes out too much anti-air to defend against the attack.
Indeed. If you don't go for any type of 3 gateway opening, generally the Void Ray all in work, but this is not what we're going to see from the looks of things. We do have a Zealot on the way, and the core and second gas is now starting for our KT player, Zest. Beginning his scouting pattern as well. Going to move around the natural, just make sure there's nothing there. And may check a few other locations around the map before scurrying over to that natural, but he could also use it as well, just kind of, you know, head in that direction. The Zealot completed heading across the map as well. Warp Gate immediately being chronoed, so it looks like we are going to see a very aggressive Warp Gate timing push from Mini.
We saw the same exact build from Trap a few days ago on Whirlwind against Bisu. Now, granted, Bisu went for the Nexus first. That's the reason why the attack worked out so fast. But this time around, he's going to go inside the main base. He's only going to see 1 assimilator.
Yeah, he's going to know instantly as soon as he sees what's going on here. It looks like Mini doesn't even care. He's like, hey, you can see everything, man. I want you to know what I'm up to. That's what he's conveying here. He must be very confident in his build if this is the case. And instantly we have a second gateway starting for our KT player. Zest, he's going to be forced onto the defensive side.
Yeah, so this is going to be a 3 gateway pressure from Mini right now, but remember, the timing for this attack is going to be so fast that Zest, he needs to be careful. He's getting a Stalker out right now, and he has his own Stalker at the natural, but all Mini has to do is buy enough time for the pylon to finish because the Warp Gate research is going to finish pretty soon.
The probe gets picked off. The Mothership Core joining the fight as well. This is almost going to certainly scare away the STX Soul player, at least temporarily. Warp Gate is not complete yet. Still has a little bit of time left. And, okay, there we go. Warp Gate now complete. The 3 Warp Gates are going to begin their massacre. There's a probe cut at 16, at least temporarily here. We have more in production, though, for Mini. So this is not an all-in. It's just a heavy pressure build. There's no sentries in this army, though.
Yeah, well, he needs a vision right now, and he needs to make the attack work before the Warp Gate finishes. He has more Stalkers than his opponent. He's going for the Mothership Core right away.
Mothership Core, yeah, actually, it looks like it's too far away. He's going to be able to focus fire down the Stalkers. Mini is forcing his opponent on the defensive, and Zest is running out of units. He almost has enough energy for the Nexus cannon. Is he going to get it off?
He does get it off right away, but remember, in Akilon Waves, it doesn't cover the main base completely, so all Mini has to do is apply some pressure while sitting outside of the range right now.
And the additional Stalkers coming in from Mini are going to at least allow him to kind of just muster up additional forces here. But the 3 gateways have indeed completed for Zest. He's still even on the worker count, actually just 2 behind. The unit count very similar here as well. There's going to be, okay, Mothership Core goes down, and we're seeing the Nexus Cannon being utilized slightly here. The Defender's advantage certainly going, at least for the time being, to Zest. And it's still a very nail-biting close game here with good control on either side. You know, it could turn the tide to the victory. of the player with the better micro.
Yeah, and Mini, he shouldn't just barge in with the Zealots over here. In fact, the Nexus Cannon finishes. He's going to pull the probes to finish the attack from Mini. All Zest has to do is defend over here because he's going to have more Stalkers in the end. And with the Mothership Core arriving, those Stalkers need to run away from Zest's main base.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, finish off as many probes as you can and hightail it out of there.
Yes!
The Zealots immediately going for that mineral line now. It's 17 workers for Zest to the 22 of Mini. I think Zest was underestimating that this wasn't as an all-in build as he expected here. Now, a few of the pylons are going to get picked off as well, which is unfortunate. And this is also going to force Mini on the defensive, but he's getting that second gas. He should be able to get a sentry or two out now as well. And ooh, very smart. Putting that proxy pylon hidden behind the natural. And as soon as Zest moves across the map, it's only going to take a Zealot or two into the main base of Zest to really put a wrench in his game plan here.
Yeah, well, he needs to make sure he has constant sentries at the ramp over here because one missed force field, and he could go inside the main base. Mini does not have a Mothership Core for the Nexus Cannon, so he needs to rely on the sentries for the force fields while warping in as many Zealots as possible at the natural to eat away on the probes.
The probe didn't scout.
No.
He didn't see the Zealots going to the main base.
Here we go.
All right, instantly this is... Oh, okay, he's warping in units now. He's getting a Zealot and I think a sentry or two for defense. And now he's just going to passively contain his opponent. Additional Zealots are warping in here, though, for Mini, and it may come to the point where we have to see the STX. So, although the force field wasn't that good here, a few units are slowly slipping in. The Mothership Core as well, now going to start focus firing on some of these units as well. Wait, no, this is a mistake. He uses a time warp, and the force field's still good, though. There's enough force fields for reinforcements here, and the Zealots, from Mini, they're starting to kill off the economy of Zest here. There's too many Zealots in Zest's main base here. These units,
Mini,
they need to go home.
Well, the Mini doesn't have it. I mean, Zest does not have ambition up on the ramp right now because the Mothership Core got taken out. That's too many sentries over there. All Mini has to do is force field all day long, and he's going to go to the finals as the Zealots are eating away on the probes. Look at the probe difference right now. 15 probes to only 29 probes from Mini right now as these Stalkers are trapped and going to get taken out immediately. GG is called as STX Soul 2-0's KT Roaster once again to advance into the finals.
What amazing play we have seen from STX Soul throughout the entire playoffs. Our producer goes dancing in the background there. Crazy that we got to see this result. What a dominating performance. I can't believe how incredibly just solid and well play and good that STX Soul's been playing. It's ridiculous. I can barely comprehend it.
If STX Soul prepares this much against Wongjin Stars, everyone has been saying Wongjin Stars has the biggest lineup, biggest step in Pro League. However, if this STX Soul shows up at the finals, I don't see Wongjin Stars winning easily. In fact, I see both of the teams going to the finals where we see Soul Key versus Innovation in the final match.
I mean, yeah, STX Soul completely has gotten it together, man. This is a team that used to be in 7th place earlier on in the regular season, and now they're going to be in the finals playing against Wongjin Stars on August 3rd.
It took him a long while, to be quite honest. STX Soul, they always made it into the playoffs. They were always shut down by teams like KT Roaster or SK Telecom T1 right before the finals or on the first round of post-season. But finally, with Starcraft2, with Heart of the Swarm, with the Protoss performing well, and with Innovation dominating the entire scene, STX Soul